Hi everybody, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers, and we are going to do a plant spotlight on Christmas cactus. And so Christmas cactus are a fun family. I really should say Thanksgiving cacti, really, because they tend to bud up in the fall, sort of mid to late fall, and start to bloom right around Thanksgiving and may actually bloom into Christmas time. So that's this type of cactus that we're talking about today. What's great about this family is that they are one of the easiest, longest lived holiday houseplants out there. And of course, you can enjoy them year round. They do need to be indoors in Northeast Ohio for winter, of course. They enjoy normal room temperatures. You can bring them into a cooler area if it's like 50, 55 degrees. That's okay. They can tolerate that. But I would say they're happiest probably around that 60 to about 75 temperature mark, and that's Fahrenheit. Remember that. So needless to say, normal room temperatures, light-wise, bright indirect lighting to some direct sun. Here's the thing that you always want to look at your leaves, and Taylor's going to show this, but if you're getting too much direct sunlight, you'll start to see some red to burgundy marking on the foliage. Normally, the foliage needs to be nice and green. So we've got one that we can kind of show you that comparison. So typically a medium Kelly green is a really healthy Thanksgiving Christmas cactus, okay, as far as foliage is concerned. So again, that bright indirect lighting. So how do you get bright indirect lighting? Typically it's a full northern exposure, right close to the northern exposure window, where it gets wraparound sunlight, or if you have a diffusing sort of curtain or light curtain over an eastern, western window. Usually if you have your cacti near a southern window, you're going to want to pull it back about 5 feet or so it doesn't get that bright, intense direct sunlight on the foliage. Watering wise, now this one's tricky because we tend to plant Thanksgiving Christmas cactus in normal potting soil. We want to make sure that it's getting adequate drainage, but we don't necessarily plant it in cactus soil because they really can tolerate a little bit of moisture that most peat-based potting mixes provide, okay? Wow, that was a lot of peas. So anyway, normal potting mix, okay? Well drained. And then what you do for watering is you go ahead and you thoroughly water the mixture like we normally water houseplants. You let it drain out the bottom drainage holes into a sink or a bucket or what have you. And then you do that one more time, thoroughly water, let the water drain out the bottom again. Put it back in its pot or in its place where it's getting light. The next thing that you're doing when you check for the soil moisture is you actually want to put your finger down into the top 1 inch of the soil. So it's usually to the top of your first knuckle. And if you can get down and put your finger down and it's feeling dry to about 1 inch, that's when you want to re-water. Or if you're noticing that that pot is very light, that would be a good way to notice that that plant is going to need some water as well. The other thing that you can do, of course, is observe your cactus. And if you're seeing any wrinkling or any loss of moisture in the leaves, obviously it is getting to that dry point, almost too dry. So again, watch for that and water immediately if you can. The other thing is we like to use sort of room temperature water inside the house. I always recommend filling up that watering can the night before you're going to water. Go ahead and let it sit on the counter. It will warm up, but it will also let some fluorides and some other things that we put in our tap water evaporate. So that's a good thing too. Other than that, we are always going to talk about fertilizing houseplants. With houseplants, really, your fertilization only occurs during the growing season. So typically end of March, beginning of April, we'll start to apply a houseplant fertilizer. Use whatever you prefer. You can use Osmocote indoors, that usually lasts for about 4 to 6 months, one application. You could use a liquid fertilizer, organic or man-made like a Miracle-Gro. That's fine too. Just follow the package directions as far as application. And typically with houseplants, it's diluted maybe 50% when you're applying it. Now, the secret to getting your Christmas cactus to bloom. This is not hard. It's a very, very easy process. The one thing that you want to know is that they react when they really react to the shortening of the day length, but they also react to cooler temperatures. So right at the beginning of October, if you can place your Christmas cactus outside, that's really going to help, especially when those cooler evening temperatures occur. That's really going to get that Christmas cactus to develop those new buds for you. So normally Angelo will typically mention, move your Christmas cactus outside beginning of October, and right around the middle to end of October, he'll say, don't forget to bring that Christmas cactus, Thanksgiving cactus indoors, and you'll start to see those tiny buds set. So again, it has a lot to do with the shortening of the day length, but also that cooling of the temperature. And you need to cool it for I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks in order to get a really good bud set. Other than that, with Christmas cactus, they are one of the easiest plants to propagate. So you literally just need to take after it's done blooming, okay? So when it is finished, you can go ahead and usually take a stem that has at least 3 leaf sections on it, okay? When you do that, you can remove the leaf sections. And I'm not going to do it right now because they're all starting to bud and bloom really, really nicely. But you'll want to remove 3 leaf sections. All you have to do is snap that 3rd leaf section at the base, remove it from the stem, and you literally can put it right back into the soil that you have in your existing pot, or you can go ahead and put it into moist potting mix and it will be fine. It will root right there for you. So this is a plant that just keeps on giving. Of course, lots of family members and friends can receive Christmas cacti, and you can make more and more and more. So it's a very, very easy plant to propagate. You can see all the different colors. Don't be surprised if you ever see a bicolor. So we have a red and a white mixed here, but there's definitely oranges, some reds. A lot of the varieties, I would say, start off with kind of a darker fuchsia bloom, and then you have to see what develops from it, because some of the oranges, some of the reds will come from pink blooming types. So do take a look for that. The flowers are like a hose and hose flower. They're very tubular, so really, really nice. And if you want to take your Christmas cacti out and grow them outdoors for the summer, that's okay too, no problem. But they actually require a little bit more shade than what you'd think. So really a partial shaded area is very good. They make a very good porch or patio plant that has an overhang where they can get shading during the day as well. Okay, I think that's Christmas cacti in a nutshell, or I should say Thanksgiving Christmas cactus in a nutshell. So enjoy.